morning. Welcome to Wake Up Lapeer. My name is Wes Smith. I'm the group publisher of the View newspaper group and a member of the Chamber Board and your stand-in MC this morning. I'd like to get things underway by introducing Pastor Jeff Wells of the Faith Christian Family Church to our invocation this morning.
All right, pray. Father, we thank you for this time together, Lord. We just thank you for Lapeer and all the things that are happening here, Lord, and I really think there's some excitement happening here. And Lord, I thank you for all the businesses that have opened, and I know some have closed too, but Lord, there's so many new things happening, and I thank you that it just continues. Bless every person and everything that's represented here today in this meeting this morning. We thank you in Jesus' name. Amen.
Thank you, Pastor.
You're welcome.
So I have some news from the Chamber right now. First, I'd like to introduce Tom Salins. He is the new site manager for this Mott Lapeer campus, and he continues to manage the Clio campus. And if you could maybe tell us a couple things about Mott and yourself, please.
Sure. Let me fix this for you.
Fix that.
Hi, everybody. You might know my face. I was around here a little bit, probably 2009. But I live right here in Lapeer, and my family does. I have 4 kids. My wife is a teacher at North Branch. Some of your kids might, if anybody's up at North Branch, they might know her as a teacher. And I look forward to meeting everybody and getting to know everybody, the ones that I don't know. And Mott is going through a wonderful time, a lot of changes, a lot of new things happening. So we encourage anybody that's interested in higher education to take a trip down here, and we'd be happy to talk to them. And I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you, Tom, and thank you, as always, for hosting our Wake Up Lapeer sessions. So our Chamber announcements, news from the Chamber. Of course, coming up soon is our Lapeer Days, and the entertainment headliners have been booked and announced. On Friday night, we have Danielle Bradbury, who is winner of The Voice Season 4. Opening for Danielle is Stone Cold. We also have some of the best national and regional tribute bands, including the Soul Brothers, which is the Blues Brothers tribute, Lee Kreitz, Tim McGraw tribute, Kathmandu, Bob Seger tribute, Capture Detroit, which is Journey, Air Margaritaville is a Jimmy Buffett tribute, Wrecking Crew is Motley Crue tribute, Dirty Deeds, we know who that is probably, and Chuck Horan as Elvis. New this year to Lapeer Days is Family Feud. Put your team together and sign up. Forms can be printed from our site at www.lapeerdays.com. We're going to have a giant Candyland game on Saturday on the courthouse lawn. A couple other Lapeer Days updates. The Lapeer Elks Club will be offering a pork loin dinner this year, and we have a host of new vendors this year. There will be 2 church worship services on Sunday morning at the East and the West Stage, beginning at 11 a.m. The Miss Lapeer Days pageant has been canceled this year due to a lack of participation. Upcoming Chamber network opportunities: After Hours Mixer at the Lake Inn on July 28th, and that will be on the deck there, weather permitting. And there is a network at noon at Mancino's on August 3rd. And a reminder that our next Wake Up Lapeer will be September 15th. Dream Bigger Consulting will be our guest speaker with tips on how to get the most out of social media marketing and do's and don'ts of social media. So we hope you all return again on September 15th. And now it is time for our guest speaker, Craig Williams, Airport Director from Bishop International Airport. Craig?
Good morning, Wes. Good morning, everybody. It's my pleasure to be here, and I was telling them that I've actually been to Lapeer, and I apologize to those of you who are at the Rotary Club and Kiwanis. I've spoken in Lapeer 3 times in the last month. I feel like I'm running for mayor. If you introduced me as a candidate for mayor, I would have understood. But no, I really enjoy Lapeer. I came a couple times last year, and then had the opportunity this time, and just really seeing the city is really just neat. It's a nice small town, something I'm used to growing up in a small town in Indiana, so it's just really nice to see that kind of same flavor here. But I know you came to hear me talk about the airport. It's something I really enjoy talking about. We have a beautiful facility just down the road here, It's something I'm proud of the work that my predecessor Jim Rice has done to really make the batteries going out, the facility just something that the area can be proud of. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about what's going on at the airport. I spoke at this group last year. Some of the information is the same. We do have some exciting news with some new flights that have come up as well. So I'm going to go through my presentation. Inside it? Oh, there it is. And I'm happy to entertain any questions that might come along. For those of you who don't, my background is I came here from Fort Wayne, Indiana. I was the director of operations there for 2 years, and prior to that, I was the director of finance and administration for 5 years, and I was in consulting for a couple of years with a national consulting firm, and then I was in Washington, D.C. for 12 years working for a trade association. So I've kind of been all around the aviation board. My whole career has been aviation, and my degree and education to that as well. So first of all, how many of you don't know where Bishop Airport is? Okay, I don't have to worry about that here. That's good. I would be a little nervous if that was it. But we're blessed with a great location. And really, the reason why I asked the question is because our location is so good that a lot of people can get to us really quickly. I mean, it takes, I'm going to be down in Bloomfield Hills later. They can be up to Bishop really faster than they can get to Detroit Metro. So you get down to some of those areas, and some people really just don't know where we are, and they just don't know what we have. So it's very nice to have such a great location. I know a lot of airports and friends of mine who would just love to have that same location where they're at the intersection of 3 major highways. This is one thing I don't have to sell to you as much, but the convenience. The convenience of Bishop versus going to Metro. We're 27 miles and 33 minutes to the airport. You have to drive 70 miles to get to Metro here. So it's one of those things where, when you're here, you can understand the convenience. If you're further south, you have a little bit of a choice that I'll show you. But this is what we have, comfort and convenience. We're not Detroit Metro where I can give you 5 flights a day to LA or Green Bay or where all this is. But you also don't have to go through remote parking to take a 10-minute ride and then a long line in security and a long drive to get there. You're here. You can walk from your car unless you want the economy parking that is across the street. We have free Wi-Fi throughout. Kids area, family restrooms. We're trying to take the stress out of flying as best we can for what we can control. I talked about a little bit of getting down toward Oakland County. This is our catchment area, which is the purple area, which if you wanted to draw it as a circle, would be about a 25-mile circle. You can see Lapeer is squarely in it. This is a very important part of our flying community, you are, and the businesses that you support, and also the people who visit you. So we really try to get out there and communicate with them. But you can see this green area down here, we call that the contention area. That's where people have a choice. So we're out there trying to market to them as well. And it's also, just as population goes, I mean, there's just a large number of people through there. So we try to get there. But you can see the extent of our people who fly from Bishop, extends well up into the Thumb, into Mount Pleasant. I've been in the terminal when people from the Sioux, London, Ontario, Allegiant is now at the airport, and I've had people from Grand Rapids in the terminal. So we serve a wide area, not just Flint and the region. And that's important for us when we're communicating to the airlines about our passengers and the passenger makeup that we have. But we're more than just airlines. An airport is a core part of the community, even though you might not see everything that goes on with it. Passenger air service is the very visible portion. You might see the FedEx plane that sits out there all day because it comes in at 6 in the morning and leaves at 10 at night. So cargo is a very important component. If you get an overnight package on FedEx, it is coming into Flint first. So those are the kinds of services that airports provide. And then the general aviation community. Any private pilots in the room? No private pilots, but private pilots, especially at an airport like Lapeer or at Flint, they too run small businesses, and so that's why we serve an important component there. It's not just airline passengers. So let me talk a little bit about the consolidation in the airline industry, because if there's anything that has impacted Bishop Airport, it's this. We reached our peak in the number of passengers in 2005, I believe it was 2005, and it's been a steady decline ever since. But it hasn't been because of anything that Bishop has done. It's because back in 2005, we had every one of those airlines except for Southwest. AirTran was here in those days. And so you can see there was a number of choices, a lot more seats in the market. Over the years, the airlines decided, you know what, we're sick of losing billions of dollars. Why don't we focus on profit instead of market share? That literally was the driving force behind them, was market share. So you would have, and this happened to Bishop, American Airlines decided to fly to Dallas, and the airport had been working for a number of years to try to get them to fly there. Well, the next day, Northwest Airlines announces, hey, we're going to fly to Dallas too, because they were protecting their market really in Detroit. They didn't really care about Bishop. When that failed because they couldn't support 2 aircraft in the market, Northwest pulled out the next day. All they were doing was trying to work one out of the business and get the market share. They decided to focus on profits. First was Delta, Northwest, and now we've got Delta now, and that Delta is the big 800-pound gorilla in the state, serving Metro as well. United and Continental followed. Southwest just outright bought AirTran. They didn't even merge. They just bought them and phased them out over years. And the latest is American and US Air, because we think that's an opportunity to grow American in the region as well. So all those consolidations mean less planes in the market, less planes in the sky overall. It's not just something that's happening in Bishop, it's happening in airports nationwide, especially smaller airports and smaller communities. So one thing I didn't show on there is Allegiant. Allegiant is a leisure airline that popped up in the early 2000s, and they decided to come to Flint. We've been working with them for a couple of years to attract them, but some changes that Southwest made earlier this year certainly made it easier for them to come in. So they're our newest airline. They're serving Tampa and Orlando. They're doing fantastic, and I don't know how many of you have either flown them yet or looked to fly to Florida. They fly to Tampa, St. Pete, and the way they say that is because the airport is actually on the Pinellas County side, closer to the beaches, and then Orlando, Sanford, because the airport's in Sanford, which is about, I'd say 30 miles northeast of downtown if you're going toward Daytona and the rest of the beaches over there. But you can only book them at Allegiant.com. So if you go on Orbitz or one of those and look for a flight to Florida, you're not going to see Allegiant. You're also not going to see Southwest either. So that's why I get questions and comments from people, we love Bishop Airport, but we don't have the flights to Florida anymore. Well, you do, you just don't find them on Orbitz or Travelocity. This is our newest change in the last really month. July 1st, we started flights to New York through Newark Airport, United Airlines. In fact, as I was driving here, I saw it taxiing out to the runway. It's a great business flight for us. We're very happy to have it. It's daily. It leaves about 7 in the morning and gets there just before 9, and then it leaves Newark at 8 o'clock. At night, gets here at 10 o'clock, which if you know, Newark is very convenient to Manhattan. They've got the PATH train right there that you can just walk from the terminal across a little, I'll call it a sky bridge, to the PATH train, which takes you down to Manhattan. It's very easy and convenient to get there. But it's also United's, I think it's their third largest hub behind Houston and Chicago. And there's great connections internationally and up and down the East Coast. So it's a good place to connect. I used to be a United/Continental frequent flyer, and Newark was an airport I flew through often. It certainly has, it's a busy airport, but it doesn't have some of the reputation that an O'Hare has as well. So, but it's a very good one for us. They're excited about it. It's starting out very nicely, and they'd really like to grow that to 2 flights a day, so we can have more options for the flyers. Speak more United. We've got the flights to Chicago. I call these the following slides "Chicago and Beyond Part 1" because Southwest made some changes in our market that led us to go from having 300 seats a day to Chicago to 650 seats a day to Chicago. And some people would say, well, why does Flint need 650 seats to Chicago every day? Well, it's not really about Chicago. It's Chicago and beyond. Chicago is the major hub for United and then American and also Southwest Airlines at Midway Airport, and I'll talk about them in a second. But each one offers some different connectivity and some different points that they don't have at some of their other airports as well. Now, I mentioned Southwest. First, I'll have to say you can only book online at southwest.com. If you haven't flown Southwest before, they had the reputation as the cattle car airline. You'd go in there and everyone would just rush the seats. It's really shifted over the years. It's really a very business-friendly airline. And I'll give the example that I like the most as a business traveler is if you need to change your flight, try on United Airlines or some of the others, they'll charge a change fee. United's is $200. I know that because I just paid it recently. But Southwest, there's no change fees when you change your flight. You just pay the difference in fare. And that's a pretty good thing when you're needing to make some changes to your schedule. So very good airline, very reliable airline, except for they had some computer problems yesterday, I guess. But they came to us in October and said, we're going to make some changes to your market and 4 other markets. We're the smallest point on their map. And in fact, we, the airport here, but I wasn't here then, but a lot of us outside of Flint were saying, why did they keep Flint when they, AirTran, the merger, or the buyout? Well, it was interesting because then I got here and I saw, well, they kept it because it's a very good market for AirTran, which became a good market for Southwest. We had the nonstops to Orlando, Tampa, seasonal Fort Myers, twice a day to Baltimore, and Las Vegas. And then they came to us and said, well, we're going to get rid of those flights and give you 3 times a day to Midway, which will give people in the area a number of options and access to really most of Southwest's network, because they have, I believe it's 65 cities that they fly out of Midway, which is their largest, they don't call them hubs, but focus city, but it's still a hub. So they're serving the market over Chicago Midway. So far it's going good. It's ramping up. People are learning that Midway it's a smaller airport. If you've ever flown through Midway or been to Midway, it's much smaller than Chicago O'Hare. It's about 25, 30 total gates for the Southwest, which that's about 1/3 of what United and American have in O'Hare. So it's working good for us. I encourage you to at least look at Southwest when you're making your travel plans. That's just the nice thing about Southwest. They just don't have any fees. What you see on that fare is what you're paying. Spirit, which I hear this a lot from people about Spirit. Even my neighbor has said to me about a month ago, oh yeah, I'm going down to Myrtle Beach and I found a good fare out of Detroit. I don't know why he came to me to brag about it. But then I get a text from him, and he's on his way back. They charged me $120 to check my golf bag. And my response to him is, "Why are you crying to me?" But the point is they have a lot of added fees. Actually, all the airlines have a lot of added fees, but Southwest does not. You pay for your fare, and that is it. Yeah, they give you the option to pay $12 to be in the A group automatically, but that's something that you can do on your own. And Southwest, this is the number of cities that opened up to us. One of the reasons they made the change, there's a number of business reasons that I agree with on their end. I still think it's horrible from my end. But it opened us up to a number of cities that the region could not fly to on Southwest, because you weren't going to go to Omaha, Nebraska by flying to Las Vegas or Baltimore first, or Tampa or Orlando. That would not make sense. But you can go to Omaha real quickly by going over Chicago Midway. So a number of those, Boise, San Antonio, again, it opens those up, whereas before we just didn't serve those markets well. Now, the nice thing about Southwest is Orlando nonstops run Saturdays only, is what we had on there last week. We just found out last week that they're going to add Sunday as well, and then they're going to do Tampa and Fort Myers in the winter on the weekends as well. They're learning that we had a powerful market to Florida. So we're going to have Allegiant and Southwest going nonstop to Florida. And American, the same thing that I said about United, serving over O'Hare as well. And we can't forget Delta. They're the big boy in the state. They serve us very well, Atlanta, on mainline jets. So we have 2-class service, as well as Minneapolis. So in Minneapolis, if you've never flown through there, it's a bigger airport, but it's an easy one to navigate, and it's got some nice options as well. Parking, that's one of the keys for us, is I think our parking differentiates us from going to Detroit. And you've seen the facility. I don't have to show, to sell this to you, but we're really proud of it because it is beautiful. It sells the region well, and I think that's really key for us. Our job as an airport is to be a welcome when people are coming to the region. If your business partners are coming to the region, we want them to feel comfortable when they get here. And it's a beautiful facility, professional looking, modern looking facility that's been able to grow and grow without looking piecemeal. I think they did a very good job with the design over the years. So in conclusion, I just say, why fly Flint? With all the changes in the marketplace, we're still the lowest average airfare in Michigan. That's something we're proud of. Detroit is closing the gap because of Spirit Airlines growing in there and Delta's competitive response by reducing fares. We have, not just top-notch airlines, we have the airlines. There's not much to choose from outside of that. And then, Wi-Fi, and then we have the pre-check for TSA. If you haven't gone through the TSA pre-check process, admittedly in Flint you don't need it as much, but it comes in handy when you're coming back home if you're coming from a larger airport. So I encourage you to look at the TSA pre-check. We're going to be having a pre-check event sometime in the fall. I don't know exactly what it is. They're working out the details on their end. Let me just go real quick and just say, if you haven't connected with us on social media, do so. Our folks are very active on it. You can find out what's going on. And I'm happy to time for any questions, but I'll be sticking around and I can answer questions at the end as well.
You are welcome in Lapeer anytime. We love flying out of Bishop. It's a great upgrade from Lum International Airport. Now we'll hear from our first sponsor of the morning, Mr. Jack Miles of Bear Graphics.
Use my outside voice. Good morning. Good morning. Like I said, I'll use my outside voice. You heard, I'm Jack Miles from Bear Graphics. So what's really nice here is to see customers here at Wake Up Lapeer. One of the big things that I get in generating business is attending these networking. Bishop Airport's here, Aladdin Cleaning's here, and there's other companies here that do business the famous North Branch Bakery. So glad to see they're here today. I'll just review some of the things that are in your bag for you. Is a lot of people question what Bear Graphics does because of the word graphics. Yes, we do design, but we also do any type of printing. I have 3 or 4 doctors in Lapeer that I go in and inventory all their forms, update them, and reorder so the business manager doesn't have to do that and take care of it. So also promotional products. Right now, I'm being swamped by banners, tablecloths, and giveaway items for Lapeer Days, a way to brand yourself. Also inside your gift from me today is a hand sanitizer, can hook in your golf bag. It also can go in your purse if you carry a purse. I saw one guy raise his hand. So the other thing nice about this is that it's a way to put your name in front of yourself all the time. There you go. Thank you, Byron. Also, there's a scratch pad, which has all my contact information on it. It's real nice to have. If you ever want more of these, they're free. I get a really good deal on printing scratch pads, so don't hesitate to give me a call. I'll be dropping it off. We don't have are you the timer today? Keep an eye on you. Last but not least, we have extended our calendars for this year. Normally in the calendar industry, next year's calendars are ordered in the first of the year. And we've extended the deadline of July 1st to September 1st to give everybody the discount of the calendars. And these calendars you see here on this thing are the ones you see all the time, a calendar and then your headers in black below it, or your footer as they call it. They come in spiral bound or they come saddle stitch. What's real neat is I'm one of the exclusive that sell Farmer Almanac calendars. So that you have your pictures, but it has all that sponsorship in there. So don't hesitate, give me a call on that. It's a great deal. You can order as low as 100 of them and be able to brand yourself or give them away as a giveaway item. I want to thank you for your time. Again, my name's Jack Miles from Bear Graphics. I'm your single sole solution for your printing needs. Thank you.
Good job. Our next sponsor is Alex Wolfe of Wolfe Family Chiropractic.
Good morning, everyone. Like he said, my name is Dr. Alex Wolfe. In the yellow here is my fiancée, Dr. Hannah Mikulich. Together, we own and operate Wolfe Family Chiropractic out in Metamora on Dryden Road. And we'd like to formally invite all of you tonight to our grand opening celebration ribbon cutting ceremony. It's from 4 to 7 p.m. We will have some free dinner for the first 150 attendees, raffles, kids games, all sorts of office tours, and some other fun things. A little bit about myself and Dr. Hannah. She's an Iron Mountain, Michigan native, and I'm a lifelong Lapeer resident, so this is a homecoming for me. We both have a passion for serving locally and abroad, so we just got back from a 10-day trip to the Pacific Rim where we are providing health care and basic chiropractic care to about 600 children and their families, all free of charge for them. So that's something that we try to do annually, and we're looking to expand that as well. A little bit about our office and what we do. We see everyone from 90 to 9 days old. We have a full-service chiropractic clinic, so we are looking to expand in the next few months and add a couple of massage therapists. Dr. Hannah has some additional training seeing pediatric and pregnant patients, and I focus primarily on the upper cervical spine, adjusting the top few bones in the neck, which surround the brainstem and can have whole body effects when they're out of alignment. A little bit more about our, I forgot my paper on the table. So we believe in it's never too early or too late to start making healthier choices and living a healthier lifestyle. So we are more than happy to see anybody of any health status, and we look forward to our grand opening tonight, and we hope that all of you can attend. And I would like to thank you for your time, and I hope you all have a great day.
Thank you, Alex. Welcome back to Lapeer and welcome to the Chamber. Our first nonprofit that we'll hear from this morning from the Kiwanis Club of Lapeer, Carol Boom.
Good morning, everybody. So I have this timed to exactly 1 minute. I read this to my cats last night, and they timed me, and they said I'm just right. So I am going to read this because I have important information I want to give you. 1 in 4 children in Michigan live at the poverty level. They are food insecure. The cost of missed meals is poor health, depression, exhaustion, and difficulty in learning. For the past 10 years, the Sunrise Kiwanis Club of Lapeer has sent food backpacks home with the children each weekend that provides meals for them when they are not having food provided for them at school. It's costly, but it's worth it. So, in order for us to pay for this, we are holding our semi-annual euchre tournament, which is coming on September 24th, to help fund this backpack food program. The cost of the ticket is $25, and all the proceeds go to purchase food for the program. At the end of the school year, this past year, we were sending food home with 350 to 400 children, and that is just the elementary schools in Lapeer. This not only feeds those students, but their youngest siblings and their families. So please consider purchasing the ticket. I don't want to give you as much information about the euchre tournament as what we do with the proceeds. You don't have to be a professional euchre player to do it. It's just a fun evening with no pressure on your performance. So if I could just have the Sunrise Kiwanis members stand. They have tickets with them this morning. Just stand so people can recognize where to get tickets. Otherwise, there's other information on the flyer. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Carol. And thank you to the Sunrise Kiwanis for that great backpack program. Our next nonprofit speaker is Mr. Jim Alt of the Lapeer Downtown Development Authority. Welcome, Jim.
Good morning. My name is Jim. I'm with the Lapeer Downtown Development Authority. And if you haven't been downtown lately, you guys are missing out. We've got a pretty exciting downtown. We've got our car cruises on Monday. We have our summer concert series on Thursdays. Our downtown restaurants are starting to bring a nightlife back downtown. The Smithsonian is at the Center for the Arts until the end of the month. So downtown Lapeer is becoming a pretty happening place. But the reason I'm here today is to tell you guys about what's next, what we are focused on, what we're working on. And that is the Michigan Main Street program. This is a very, very exciting program designed to kind of focus on historic preservation, but also lead towards a more vibrant, strong community. And what I want to do today is invite you all to a community presentation next Wednesday, July 27th at 6:30 p.m. on the second floor of the historic courthouse. This is an exciting opportunity to learn about this program and learn about how it benefits the downtown area and about Lapeer as a whole. Because what's important to understand is that a strong, vibrant downtown is beneficial to everybody. We all work here, we live here, we play here, and our employees also live here, work here, and play here. So having a strong downtown that can be the centerpiece of the community is very important. And like I said, that benefits everybody, not just those of us that are located downtown. So Lapeer right now is in what is called the associate level of the Main Street program. And what that is the very beginning phase of the program. We're the beginner, we're the newbies on the block in this program. Our goal and what we're focused on is to move up to the select level of the program. What this does is it partners with the state through MEDC and Michigan Main Street and gives us the tools, the resources, the trainings to come together and build a strong downtown. What's very important and kind of a guiding building block of this program is community support. The way it works is everybody working together. The chamber, the city, the county, the businesses, everybody working together to make a stronger community. And that's why we want to see you next Wednesday, the 27th of July, 6:30 on the second floor of the courthouse, so that you can hear from the Main Street program themselves. They'll have their representative here, they'll present, they'll talk about the program, and you'll hear all the benefits and the strengths of this program and how we're going to move Lapeer forward into the future. So one more time, next Wednesday, July 27th, 6:30 p.m., the second floor of the courthouse. I want to see you all out there because showing that strong community support is essential, and it allows us to advance in the program, move up to that select level where you're really going to start seeing great things happen for downtown Lapeer. So I want to thank you all for being here this morning, and again, we hope to see you next Wednesday. Thank you.
We appreciate your leadership with the DDA in promoting downtown. Just one additional plug from me of the Hometown Teams exhibit going on at the Gallery 194 right now. If you've not had the opportunity to get in there, if you or any of your family members participated in any Lapeer High School or community athletics from the 1920s, Jill, I think is where your photos start, up through present day, please go in and check that out. It is a whole lot of fun. Seeing your high school teams, my high school teams, not that I was on, but I knew some of the people on from the 70s, pretty hilarious to see the hairstyles, the short shorts that the basketball players wore back then. Anyway, it's a lot of fun. Plus the installation from the Smithsonian, an interactive installation, is also very informative and a lot of fun. So great way to kind of go back in time a little bit, and also another reason to get downtown and appreciate what we have there. Next up, we have Mr. Glenn Ream from Vietnam Veterans. Welcome, Glenn.
Thank you, Wes. Last time I was here was just before Memorial Day, so kind of a little update on that. We had a tremendous turnout. The people were, how should we say, very appreciative of what we did. We also, on Memorial Day, had a tribute to our Vietnam vets. I read the names on the stone. We had some people from our commemorative committee sent out some letters. I want to share this letter I got a couple days after the Memorial Day event. It says, Mr. Ream, I just wanted to commend you on the ceremony we attended this morning. You always produce a magnificent event. This day's memorial was especially touching as 47 years ago on this date, my brother's body arrived from Vietnam. Well, a day never passes that I don't think of him. I also think of his fellow soldiers who came home to a poor welcome, and many with compromised health and mental issues. I can't thank you enough for the efforts you put forth to honor both the living and deceased veterans of our country. I'd like to believe my brother would have been a responsible veteran as you and helped his fellow man. Again, my deepest thanks, my best wishes to you and your loved ones. God bless America and its soldiers. Sincerely, Janice Bagley, sister of Douglas Matheson from Columbiaville. So it was worth the efforts that we put in. We have one more year left on the commemorative committee. I have also volunteered my time again this year for the Lapeer Days Parade. If you own a military vehicle and would like to be in the parade, you can either get a application from the chamber, or I think they probably have some online. On the 50th Commemorative Committee, which I'm chairman of until next year ends, we are looking at a POWMIA ceremony in Attica on September 16th of 2016. Also like to thank, if there's anyone here from Lapeer County Bank and Trust, thank you again for inviting the committee to the ice cream social, and thanks to the newspapers for the coverage. Have a great day and thank you.
Thank you, Glenn. Thank you for your service, and thank you for your ongoing service to our veterans and our community still. Let's have another round. Next up, from the nonprofit Families Against Narcotics, we have Dinnan.
Thank you. First, I'd just like to tell you a little bit about what Families Against Narcotics is. Our mission is to save lives by empowering individuals and communities to prevent and eradicate addiction. We raise awareness to the dangers of prescription medications, support those affected by addiction, and we try to erase the stigma associated with addiction. And we do that through an education program. We inform the community about the growing problem of prescription drug addiction, and among all ages, and a lot of times it leads to heroin abuse by our younger adults and younger people. We also have something we do, Real People Sharing Real Stories. It's a unique presentation that we do to community members, schools, churches, anywhere we can get a forum. And then we also provide professional and guest speakers at our monthly meetings. We meet the second Tuesday of every month at Faith Christian Community Church across from Sherwin-Williams. And we support the network of people that are affected by addiction. We never want any family to suffer alone. And if you want any additional information, I have lots of handouts and stuff. And then some of the things we've done recently is we've been working with the police and the EMTs and stuff on getting Narcan, and the sheriffs are now carrying it. We also have an Operation RX that we talk about take prescription drugs sparingly, store it securely so people can't get it, dispose of it properly. We're trying to communicate where the storage areas are and make more, and never share it. But today, my big thing here today is to get you to support an upcoming event. We have our Run Drugs Out of Town. This is the third year we're doing it. This is my shirt here. The first year we had over 200 runners, walkers. Last year we had 180, which is really good for Lapeer. And then as business owners, you can support us in a couple of different ways. Obviously, you can support us. Through a sponsorship, you have a thing in your bag to sponsor us. And that sponsorship, I'll pick up my papers when I'm done, will get your name on my shirt, like this. And you'll get a sign along the course. And then if you don't have money for your business to support us, if you could put up a sign if your business is located someplace where you could help us communicate it, or we have posters that you can put in your business to help us market it. Or as a citizen, you can join us. You can run or walk to help us run drugs out of Lapeer. If you have any questions, I'll be here at the end. Thanks.
Thank you. Thank you to FAN, great organization in our community. So we are down to our 50-50 and drawing of door prizes of our ambassadors. Oh, here they are. Sure. These awesome throwback retro style posters for Lapeer Days would look great in your shop windows or in your break rooms. They're available. Please grab one on your way out and display it for us. Thank you.